Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Carnivorous Grandma Speaks Wisdom, Women of Wisdom series.
Oh
Tonight,
man.
I am super excited to have with me Miss Alia Wells. Hey, Alia.
Hello, thank you so much, Robin. I'm so happy we can finally do this. Life gets in the way. We've been planning this for many months now, so I'm glad
We
we made it
have,
happen.
we have. So, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to go ahead and read my scripture. Those of you who
Sure.
watch this show know that I have a scripture that goes along with this Women of Wisdom series. It's Proverbs 14:1. And it says, "The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down." That's
Mm,
the NIV version. And it resonates so much with me, particularly when I'm talking with women,
mhm.
particularly that are making a decision to choose a proper human diet, because we're definitely building up our physical house. A lot of times we're the
Mhm.
ones that are making the choices about food and eating for our families. So we're helping to build our house in that way as well.
Right.
And then we're also building up the kiddos. And,
Mhm.
a lot of times we're the one who's talking to the family and saying, this is what you should do. You need to eat more meat.
Mhm.
So the wise woman builds her house. And we are here today with wise woman Alia.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful, by the way. That was beautiful and
Thank you so
so appropriate.
Thank you so much, Alia. So I'm gonna just turn it over to you to go ahead and introduce yourself, and
Okay.
we'll get started.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alia. I'm from Chicago. I've had on and off all my life issues with my weight. Even when I probably shouldn't have had attention on my weight because you're female and you are obsessed with always looking skinnier, right? So it's either been an actual obsession where I've been obese, or it's been a obsession of, I hate to use psychiatric words, but like body dysmorphia, if that makes sense. Like you think you're fat and you're not, you're actually are kind of normal. But so I don't know the other word to use for that in place of that, but there you go. So as a child, I was chubby and fat and happy, I like to say. And as an adult, I suffered other issues, which I don't necessarily need to like female issues. I suffered a lot with those. And then constantly worried about my weight, but constantly obsessed with food, like French fries. If you go through my life, I've probably eaten more French fries than anything else. Don't mark my words, but it seems like that. Like I had an addiction very bad as a child to French fries. I remember lying to my dad about it so I could get money out of him to buy French fries, sort of thing, like a drug addict. Okay. So I just want to say, like, those are some obsessions I've had. Super obsessed with food and super obsessed with losing weight. And if you don't know how to eat, you're going to be obsessed with food and you're going to be obsessed with trying to fit the perfect body image that's shown on Vogue, Teen Vogue, all these girly magazines. You see these beautiful Britney Spears when you're like 13 and look how beautiful she is. How come I can't look like that? Anyway, so this is like kind of a story that went on through my life, and I'm 41 now. And by the way, I would like to lose some weight, but I'm not obsessed about either food or weight anymore. I'm
Yeah.
more obsessed about how to get healthier than I am now. And I want to help people do the same. So that's kind of like the simplified version. I'm a mom of two. I work from home. And I love to talk to people. There you go.
Yes. Yes. That's awesome, Alia. So I
Yeah.
totally understand about that. I believe that I had undiagnosed like mental illness around body dysmorphia. Even when I was like 113 pounds as a teen girl, I thought I
Mm-hmm.
was fat. I was way overweight. I always needed to be on a diet. So I
Mm.
totally get where you're coming from with that obsession.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I didn't really realize it was an obsession until I got onto carnivore, if that makes sense. Like I was like, oh, obsession and addiction and but I had to realize it when it was almost handled.
Right. Exactly. I mean, we don't even think about the fact that so I don't know if you had the same issue. I had this complete obsession with what am I going to eat? I'm constantly thinking about food. I'm like, am I going shopping? And do I need to go to the store? And what's in the cabinets? And blah, 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 blah. I mean, just going on and on and
Oh
on in my
yeah.
head.
Yeah,
And I didn't realize it was a problem until
yeah.
it went away. And I was like, oh,
Right. It's what I'm talking about. You don't realize it's a problem until it's like gone. Like I loved, look, it's on my phone. Like just staring at my phone and watching recipes.
Yeah.
I try
Yep.
to figure out where can I get this ingredient, and oh man, it's so relaxing not to deal with that.
Right. I mean, it definitely gives your brain a rest not to have to
Yeah.
be completely obsessed with anything really.
Oh yeah, totally.
So how did you hear about the carnivore diet?
It's a good question. So I was watching. Another thing I like to do was watch Dr. Eric Berg a lot, and I was trying to follow that, and I couldn't. And I think that had to do with I was doing it wrong, even though I thought I was
Mhm.
doing it right. So I couldn't really follow it. And one day I watched a video about this thing called the carnivore diet, approximately 5 years ago, and that video is okay from his perspective, but it doesn't. It kind of I don't know if it's negative. It says if you have XYZ, you should do the carnivore diet. And I think I was a perfect candidate with gut issues if I was having those at the time.
Mhm.
But he said something about protein in your kidneys, and then you have to eat a lot of organs. And so all of that turned me off. But that was the first time I had heard about it, and I should have researched more at that moment. So then years go by, and then I find Ken Berry. Ken Berry is constantly being like repeatedly shown to me on my screen, and I kept ignoring him on my screen because I was following Eric Berg, and I had this idea like I don't want to get confused by influencers.
Right.
Like I'm going to stick to one person. And then finally one day I was like, all right, I'm going to listen. It's on my screen for the 6,000th time. I'm going to listen to it now. And within 3 seconds, I was like, oh, I got to listen. I need to hear what this guy says, really because of his accent. I know it's kind of crazy. I lived in the South for a while. I'm not from the South. I'm from the North. That's why people in Texas call the people from up people from the North. So I lived in Texas. And so hearing his Southern accent, I'm like, oh, all right. And that's what got me on the path of carnivore, basically, was Ken Berry.
Oh, okay, yep,
But
like so
it's
many
still,
of us.
oh, I
Yeah.
missed something before that, actually. So five
Okay,
years
go
ago,
ahead.
then Eric Berg interviews a guy who's in Ecuador who's a carnivore. And I watched that whole interview. And I was like, oh, wow, look, a gringo like me, in, like in this, like my neighbor, basically. Ecuador is right next to Colombia. And so
Mhm.
that's actually what got me started. And he was like, I didn't have weight to lose, but I had all this inflammation and back pain, all these things, like things I was suffering from went away. Like he was saying they went away eating this way. So that's what got me. Then I was more likely to click on Ken Berry, I think, because of that other interview. So it was really Eric Berg. I met him once, by the way, and I was
Mm,
like, wow, thanks so much
really?
for interviewing this guy because it made me want to do carnivore. And he's like, you watched my interview?
Wow. Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
yeah, it's awesome.
So we are having, our friend Lucia,
Yeah.
she's here, and she's having issues because we don't have the closed captions on. I'm so
Oh, how do we do
sorry.
that? And he's like, you
I
watched
don't even know that I don't think you can turn them on in here. I think we have to do it, like,
Oh, in
wow.
YouTube?
Yeah, in YouTube.
Oh, I don't think I can do it from me.
Let
I
me
don't think.
see if I
Okay.
can do it. I will just check really quick
Well, do you have one
because
more question? Oh, because
I do have a question. Let's
while and
just
while you're
ask
figuring
this
that
one.
out,
So it
and
says, "What initially drew you to the carnivore lifestyle, and what has kept you committed to it over time?"
oh, okay. So again, that interview with Tristan Haggard that drew me to it, not for the point of weight, but for the point of dealing with inflammation. And I even think he brought up gut issues, and I was suffering from those a lot. And then, by the way, it took me like 6 months or longer to actually do carnivore after I saw that, because then I started researching and listening to
Yep.
YouTubers and all that stuff. And then I found a whole community here. Kip, I found Kip. Kip, I love Kip.
Oh, yeah.
Carnivore Kip, and he reminds me. I saw a picture of him. I'm like, oh wow, that looks literally like my brother, but with blonde hair. And so I clicked on it, and again, a Southern accent. I'm a sucker for those people from the
Right.
South.
Yes.
um, and so we became friends. So that was when he didn't really have like so many subscribers. So we just became friends through chatting and stuff like that, and emailing back and forth. So I was with Kip, but it's really was like one day in March last year. No, it was before March. I said March 1st, I'm doing this. It's gonna work for me. Nothing else is gonna work for me. And I really knew it was, but I decided that I was only gonna do it for 90 days. And then in the 90 days, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stick to it. So I told people in my first videos, like at day 90, I'm gonna reintroduce pickles and avocados. And I haven't really. Sometimes, so, like if it's around, like I don't go out and buy it. I was looking for pickles. It's very hard to find good pickles in Colombia.
Mm,
So
mhm.
So
Right.
there you go. And then on day 90, I did a video like, I'm just going to stick to this because I feel so much better and I know how I feel and I don't eat this way. And it's like, for instance, it was my son's 8th birthday on the 28th of August. And so we bought the birthday cake. By the way, like my kids eat very well, but I also don't want to force them to be in a way like I'm not going to buy my kids a birthday cake and later they rebel. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Especially because
Mhm.
my son wanted a birthday cake with Spider-Man. So, anyways, the long story short is everybody's eating a ton of birthday cake. I literally had like a bite like this. I just wanted to taste it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's it. And I'm like, oh my God, that was really sweet.
Yes.
But I'm
Absolutely.
just saying, like, you can still do, if you're so far into eating this way and you know how good you feel, you can do like a bite of something and it doesn't adversely affect you and you stay the course. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I have not tried. I'm too scared.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Birthday
be
cake wasn't
honest.
my, oh, okay.
Yeah,
It,
I have struggled so many times with even the stupidest stuff, like, corn,
oh,
sweet
okay.
corn, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a little of this." It's just a vegetable, right? It's just
Yeah.
not even that serious. I'm gonna have a little of it and then totally lost my way. So
Oh,
many
okay.
times stuff like that has happened to me. So I there's like my
Mm,
mother-in-law makes this amazing, amazing pound cake.
yeah.
And I had to give that up when I was on keto, and I'm
Yeah.
like, so I'm just not even willing to even try it. I'm
Sure.
scared.
Okay, I understand. I don't lose my way. I'll tell you why. Because I'm so in tune with my body, and if I do something, I feel terrible, and so it gets me back on because I know what not terrible feels like. It gets me back on. It was my
Yeah.
dad's 67th birthday this year, and I happened to be at home for his birthday, and he said, "Will you please have some cake with me?" It was like death by chocolate. I think that
Oh,
I don't know if that was the name of the cake. It was like this much chocolate frosting, chocolate. I felt terrible. My stomach
mhm.
was upset. It was fine while you put it in your mouth. I call it mouth pleasure. It's like fine in
Right.
your mouth. And then,
Yep.
like, as soon as it goes south. So I think that's probably why it's easy for me to stick to it
Yeah.
because I
Yep.
know when I feel bad and what triggers things too many carbohydrates and I can't sleep. So,
Yep.
and I'm like, I'd rather sleep and be normal than be not like hangry, but sleep hangry,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So, but
I
I
hear you.
understand where you're coming from.
Do you feel like that you are a person who can moderate,
No,
or are you like a all or nothing person?
I'm an all or nothing person with the exception of what I just said. Like if
Okay.
yeah, whenever
Yeah.
I go home, I end up falling off. So I call Chicago home. My husband's like, "Why do you call that home?" It's really hard not to call that home because I mean, I live here and this is my home. My family's here, but I call that home. Like I'm going home. It's very easy for me to fall off the bandwagon there because you're going to restaurants, you're doing all these things. I gain weight every time I go. But hi Nia, I just want to say hello.
I Yeah.
um, but I prefer not to practice moderation. I prefer not to practice it. I know what foods make me feel bad. I know what foods make me feel good. I rather just stick to the stuff that makes me feel good. And I don't have the things like I don't buy Oreos, for instance, that I if I had the Oreos in the house, I would eat them all. So there you go. That answers your question.
Yeah, yep. I think I'm the same way with popcorn, like popcorn.
Mm,
My grandkids love popcorn,
yeah.
and, I stopped buying the microwave popcorn for them
Yeah.
because it's so toxic, the stuff that's inside the
Oh,
bag.
yeah.
So I
Totally.
bought this container where you have to fry the popcorn kernels and make the popcorn the old school way, and, it's a good thing that that stuff is in kernels because I don't know if I could resist it if I had to smell it all the time, you
Oh my
know?
goodness, totally. No, thank you for bringing that up. If I make popcorn, I binge popcorn, and my kids love popcorn. So the bingeable stuff that I can't moderate is at grandma's house. And I
Mm,
like we live on a big property all together.
mhm.
So like if I like right now she's storing like a couple pounds of my chicken because it doesn't fit in my fridge. You just go down the hill. The yeah, yeah, exactly. I will say sometimes like this is not like this is like in other aspect of it. And this might trigger some people, so I'm sorry, but I'll be honest. I got a ton of blood work done this morning. There was 8 to 10 little vials of blood. I'm not sick. By the way, I'm not sick. This is the little Band-Aid.
Mhm.
I was sick a couple weeks ago. The doctor that I talked to, he's like, please check your cholesterol because he knows how I eat. But
Yep.
I think I got all of the recommended Ken Berry, like from his book, the Common
Mhm.
Sense stuff, Common
Yeah.
Sense Labs. Plus, I got a full thyroid panel because I do have thyroid issues. And I got a whole cholesterol panel. Anyways, I got a bunch of blood work.
Yep.
Right afterwards, I'm like, I need orange juice right now. I need it
Oh,
immediately and at once. And I'm like, if we can't find someone making it on the corner, my husband's like, why don't we just buy like a tangerine? So I ate that and then I ate some more. And then I'm like, oh, done. Like I reached what I was trying to get and then I
right.
couldn't eat anymore. And I don't eat fruit very often. I ate some when I was sick. When I was sick, I felt like I needed it, oddly enough.
Yeah.
And then I got off of it. But so I don't want to trigger anybody, but you have to like, for some reason, my body knew that I needed to eat something. Maybe it was vitamin C, maybe it was instant sugar. I don't know, but all the blood that was taken on me. And then I felt fine. But I stopped. Do you get what I'm saying? Like my
Mhm.
done. No more. Can't eat any more of
Okay.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of odd like that about my body that I've only like cultivated that skill since being on carnivore. And when I don't listen to my body, I get really screwed up. That's,
Right.
I think, how I got very sick because I
Mhm.
wasn't listening to what my body was saying. And then my immune system went down and I caught this thing. And yeah, there you go. And it
Yeah, I
sucked.
was gonna ask you about that because I think you were sick very recently.
Yeah. It started the week of July 27th. And that date sticks out because that was the day like it just went downhill. But for
Mhm.
some time before, I'm doing stuff at night and I'm doing interviews at night and I'm just kind of tired and I'm trying to interview people and my body's like, stop, go to sleep, stop, go to sleep. So I had to implement and I wasn't listening. So it was, I think, a couple of weeks of this. Um, and then the day that I got sick, that I'm calling myself that I got sick, my back started hurting. I'm like, I haven't felt pain like this since before carnivore. And then
Mhm.
the next day, I told my husband, so it's Saturday, we have plans with the kids, take them out at Saturday. I told my husband that morning, I have not felt this bad since before carnivore. That same week, I started intermittent fasting, like doing a 24-hour fast that specific week. And I'm like, maybe I'm oxalate dumping. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I couldn't think with
Yeah.
the fact that I was just getting sick.
Yeah. Wow.
So, anyways, that night we got back. I don't remember what we did with the kids that day. We did something fun with them. And then I got back and I had a fever. And then
Wow.
9 days later, I was like, wait, I feel worse than day one. What's going on?
My
We need to go to
goodness.
a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up having like a bacterial bronchitis and I had to get
Oh,
on
wow.
antibiotics. And now it was one of the worst things I ever experienced. Like walk 5 steps, stop, catch your breath, hyperventilating, going up a flight of stairs. It was really bad. So that's why many people didn't see me. I wasn't doing content. I was just trying to survive.
Right. Yeah. Well,
So
I'm glad to see that you're doing better. You're
thank
smiling and
you. Oh
laughing,
yeah. Now I can laugh
breathing
about it.
good.
Oh man. To not breathe.
Obviously.
Sorry
Yeah.
if we're
So that's
boring everybody, but that's what happens.
no,
And
that is awesome. So I wanted to say, I think you said that you started your carnivore in March. You and I
yeah.
are so similar. I started in February
Oh wow.
22nd.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
close.
So close. So we're neck and neck with our
And
you
Carrie. We're neck
know,
and neck with Carrie.
yep, neck and neck with Carrie too. That's right. So, so tell us a little bit about your like health benefits. Have
Oh
you
yeah,
achieved
sure.
any health benefits related
Yeah.
to
Sure. Thank you for asking. That's a great question that I don't answer enough, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna say like the reason I came here, I always say the reason I came here was to lose weight. It was for vanity. And I feel like I have this thought floating around in my head, maybe some other like my stomach issues would go away.
Mhm.
So I was having like IBS sort of stuff. Not as bad as Nia, by the way. She's told her story, and I'm like, oh well, mine was like a walk
Yeah.
in the park. But still, having diarrhea often is not fun. Pain in your stomach is not fun. And I
Right.
couldn't ever figure it out. And I live in South America, so you kind of can think that, oh, maybe it's because you're still not used to the food here. But I'd already been here 7 years, so that doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
no.
No.
That's not it.
That's not it. And then, oh, maybe it's parasites. Okay, well, I often like take meds to clean out parasites, which the doctors recommend,
Mhm.
here. We should do that everywhere. Or, anyways, I was trying all these things. I did a candida cleanse. None of this stuff worked. So within like a couple days of doing carnivore, all of a sudden my gut was like normal. Literally, like years of torture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame it actually on salads, because in the
Mhm.
States, when I lived in the States, I ate standard American. Oh my God, there's a Wendy's. I feel hungry. Like, I just got fat. The gut problems were when I was eating here. So you assume it's Colombia, but it's not. It's the vegetables that I'm eating, because the thing that I had stopped already eating for the most part. Like, sometimes on the weekends I would eat some junk food, but we didn't really have that in the house. There were other carbohydrates in the house, but I was eating vegetables, and I would see my
Mhm.
salad in the toilet after I ate it. So
Yeah.
so that's crazy. The gut issues went away. So I'm very scared about re-entering. I was telling Robin I've been testing out some vegetables, and yeah, it's not working so well.
Yep.
So that
Yeah.
was a big thing. Can we talk about this? Like, when you're so tired all the time because you can't sleep, my sleep almost changed. Like, I used to dread going to sleep. Uh, I think this started after during pregnancies. I don't know. And after I nursed my daughter for almost 3 years, I think it was 3 years and 4 months, and she was like a night owl. So I would wake up when she would wake up. I would stay up. Netflix was my friend. She would be on the boob. And I just ruined my whole circadian rhythm got screwed. So then later she's not nursing.
Mhm.
I'm in front of the computer working. That probably has something to do with it. Try to go to sleep, and I would just like lie there and like toss
Mhm.
and turn for hours. And I don't know if that's called insomnia, or if I finally fell asleep, I would wake up again, and then now I'm awake, and so I would dread it. And then it seemed like, again, within days of being on carnivore, all of a sudden I'm like dead to the world, and I'm sleeping soundly. Funny enough,
Wow.
when I was before I got sick, I would be up till midnight, and then I'd wake up at 6 hours of sleep, or something like that, or 10 or 11 or whatever. Now I go to sleep at like 7 or 8 with my kids, and that's a new
Mm.
rule. That's why we set this up so early, because I need to be away
Yes.
from my screen. Um,
Right.
for a couple hours before, so I can wind down. I fall asleep at 7 or 8 at night almost every night. If I stay, I can stay up till, I think a few nights ago, me and my husband were up and talking till like 9, and still I went to sleep. I wake up between 3 and 5, and I am fine. And I am like
Wow.
awake and ready to go for the day. And I love it. I'm studying, doing some, like, I'm reading this book right now. This is the book I'm reading right now. It's called Nine Figure Mindset.
Okay, that's what's up right there.
Yeah, I'm not doing this
Uh-huh.
right. I'm reading this right now. I'm reading some other books, and I love that time in the morning. I couldn't do that before. I didn't want to study before. I was just, kind of a wreck. So sorry, I'm going on and trying to give like full examples. I'll speed up
Yeah,
now. Um,
it's
when
good.
you have a thyroid condition and you're exhausted and you're eating terribly, maybe your relations with your spouse, which are very important, aren't happening. I'm trying to be politically correct as possible. And I
Yes,
noticed that changed instantly. By the way, that's a totally normal thing that husbands and wives should be doing. It's not normal if you don't want to do that.
100%.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yes.
or if you're too tired, and it's not like you don't want to, you're just exhausted, you're in pain, your stomach hurts, your head hurt, or whatever, your back hurts.
Yep, yep.
Like, if you're in a terrible physical condition, your mental condition is not going to be good, and you're not living the best quality of life. So that was a big change very rapidly.
That's awesome.
Very rapidly. And so that's all I'll say about that. So we don't have to get into any more specifics about that. But I will say, almost immediately after carnivore, I was seriously considering having another child. But by the way,
Oh,
I was 40 when that 39, 40. I swore after Brianna was born, I will never have another child again, ever again. Like, this has been terrible for my body specifically, not having the babies. I love having the babies and having my children, but how hard it was for me. So, not that I'm going to have another child, because we've talked about this many times now. Just the fact that I wanted to was a huge change. I think correlated to fixing my diet, fixing my hormones, getting sleep. Oh, the mommy urges are back. But like I said, We've talked about it. It's not on the menu.
Right.
Okay, so gut issues, super important. That changed. I have like I talked about eczema. I had some here, but that healed before carnivore. I had some on my hands. It started during the 2020 era because of all the chemicals I had to constantly put on my hands. Like it got
Yep.
very inflamed, and it like never went away. And if I eat garbage, if I do, this is standard American. If I do Western standard American food, my hand will get inflamed within days. If I do popcorn, my hand will get inflamed. That's the point, Robin. I can't. It's not the point of like I don't trust myself. Like, oh, my body's gonna kick my butt for me.
Yep. Exactly.
So this stays in check. My hand pain, my hand eczema. If I eat this way. 3 months in, so here's like weird things. Like I don't smell as bad anymore. I'm back to my pre-pregnancy foot size that I thought never would happen.
What?
Yes. Your feet get bigger when you get pregnant. And so
Yes.
I must have had edema or something. Like it just was full of water. Like it wasn't fat down there. And it finally shrank back to normal size a year in, 1 year. Cause I bought a pair of shoes in Chicago with my mom and I'm like, wow, 7.5 medium. I'm usually wearing 8 or 9 gym shoes.
Wow.
Yeah. Or 8.5 or something like that. Gym shoes because I couldn't fit or look good or be comfortable. I mean, girl shoes aren't that comfortable, but I still like having some nice shoes. Other thing that healed, weird, random, is that so carnivore started 6 years after my daughter was born, 5 years after my daughter was born, around then. 3 months, I had a C-section scar. I talk about this often. It never healed properly. It never closed. So I had like an open wound. It sounds worse than it is, but it shouldn't be itchy. It shouldn't smell bad. It shouldn't have some leakage like a wound. 3 months in, it was like totally handled. It looks normal. It's still normal. The skin finally healed. I asked Dr. Baker about this on his podcast, and he said it's probably the combination, or was it Dr. Baker? It was some doctor. The combination of getting the junk out while giving the body the raw materials it needs to make your body, make your skin or make the things you need in the body.
Yeah.
I believe carnivore has made it so I'm no longer allergic to cats.
Wow.
I say I believe. Okay, I always say this joke. My sister, she has cats. She has very furry dogs. She has like a house that's constantly full of dust because she has all these animals. Because the animals create that. And I visited her, and by the way, it's like the air where she lives, because she lives in Florida, is very moldy. So within the first day of there, I had all my allergies happening, and she gave me some like homeopathic thing. This was last November. I drank it and it kind of settled down all the allergies. So I don't know if it was the potion, but I don't think that a potion would last that long. I call it a potion.
Right. Yeah.
So my husband wanted to get the kids a cat when we moved here into the mountains. And I said, okay, I'll deal with it. Like I'll deal with my allergies. It's fine. I don't care. But I don't have any allergies. I can literally lift the cat to my face and like nothing, nothing. And moments, my eyes would be watering, my nose would be running. So I think that's directly related to carnivore, not the potion. And do you know Bronson Dance? Coach Bronson? Okay.
Coach Bronson. Yeah, I interviewed him.
Oh, he's so cool. He said that when you don't have so many fires in your body can handle the other things. So maybe I do have those allergies, but my body can deal with it. And so I'm happy because my kids have their cat.
That is awesome. So I too have had like a resolution to some degree of my seasonal allergies. This fall, I seem to be having a little bit. So
okay.
But I used to take allergy pills twice a day. Every single
day.
Every
day.
Benadryl at night. Every
single
day, all year round, because I was allergic to something. I'm allergic to mold and dogs and cats and trees and grasses, everything all year. And so when I went on carnivore, the allergies, basically, I was so shocked because last spring, which would be a really bad time, everybody else was sniffing and coughing and all that stuff. And I was just like, wait a minute. Something's different here.
Sure.
But I have not had the opportunity to try a cat because I'm very severely allergic to cats.
Yeah, we're so similar. That's so funny. I forgot about my Chicago hate.
Some kind of sisters or something.
Yeah, exactly. What's the? Oh, I don't even remember. I was gonna say something funny, but I don't even remember. But Maybe it's because we're from the Midwest. I don't know. That Lake
Maybe.
Michigan
Yeah, yeah,
between
yeah.
us.
We're very much, from the same area.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
let me
wanna
just say
just
two
kind of
things.
Oh,
Can I
yeah, go
just say
ahead,
two more
yep.
things really fast? So,
Yes.
great resolution with my cycle, the most normal it's ever been, starting at 39. It should have been normal starting, my period started at 11. I mean, that's when it started showing up. Um, and then problems started ensuing when I think I was 13 or 14, and that resolved very fast. It's not like it's perfect, but it's more normal than ever. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is back issues, pain in my back,
Mm,
inflammation greatly resolved. So I know we've been kind of joking around, but those are like kind of amazing things that have changed. So it's weird. It's interesting, like what you put in your body's trying to deal with all this crapola and
right.
it can't. And now you have all these symptoms of things, all this inflammation, and it's just incredible what happens. All right, I'll let you
It
ask your next
really,
question.
really is. I wanna just
Yeah.
say hi to some folks. There's lots of people
Sure.
in the chat, so let me just kinda click through. We know that Lucia was here. She
Hello.
probably was not able to stay because
Aw.
she needs the closed caption, so I'm gonna have to do some research to see if between YouTube and StreamYard, can we, turn the closed captions on during the live stream or
Yeah.
only afterwards? So I'll do some
Mm.
research on that and find out. Karen Harrington is here. Hey,
Hello.
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
So glad that you are here with us tonight. And then Charlie is here, Darth Carnivore. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Welcome.
I did an
Uh,
interview with him. Go check it out.
okay, yes, I will. Same here. I did too. Charlie's just
I
all over out here in these YouTube streets. So,
I
yeah.
love that.
Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie. She's
Hello,
here.
Bonnie.
So glad to see Bonnie here. And then, of course, Nia's here. We love you, Nia. One of my
Another
faves.
gorgeous person living in the South.
Yes, absolutely. So Karen is saying that I don't like going to bed. I have odd sleep patterns, so I dread
Mm,
sleeping.
okay. I give some advice if you're still here, Karen. This is what I don't know exactly how you're eating. Um, if you're eating some carbohydrates, that like popcorn will screw up my sleep. If you're eating starchy carbohydrates at all, that might be screwing up your sleep. How late? Like I have a deadline now that I can't really, and I try to follow it. Don't look at my phone. Don't look at my screen after a certain hour so my mind can wind down because all the blue light does something to your mind. I'm not a scientist, but it does something from what I understand. And how much are you walking? Because walking really helps to calm down. And magnesium. Those are my tips. Turn off the screens, get some walking in, and make sure you're not eating starchy carbohydrates, which might screw something up. And
Yeah,
what was the other thing that I said? Magnesium. Try those
magnesium. Yep.
things.
Yep.
Try those
So
things.
I too, I like Karen have crap sleep, and I
Oh, I'm so
know that a lot of
sorry.
it has to do with the fact that I am editing YouTube videos at nighttime.
Yes, yes. This will screw up your sleep. You can't do it at night. I
Yep.
learned that the hard way. Don't get
Yep.
bronchitis.
Yep. So, yeah, I will definitely take that under consideration, under advisement, because
Yeah,
it's like the only time I have. If I
I
work all day on a
understand.
video and I wanna get it out today or tomorrow, I have
Mm-hmm.
to spend time in the evening doing it because it's the only time I have.
I
But,
understand.
it does one thing that I can say also, I'm gonna add this on because I'm realizing, in my September month here, I'm doing a high fat challenge.
Mm.
So the stick of butter a day
Oh,
challenge.
wow. How much how
Yes.
many grams or, like, what is that equivalent to?
It's 8 tablespoons.
8 tablespoons. Okay, good. Alright.
Yes. 8 tablespoons of butter, each day, and or some sort of fat. So I use, like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll use the beefsteak bites, I can use, like, pork belly,
Oh, okay.
also, tallow, things like that. So,
Okay.
a lot of times I'll cook the tallow and butter into something, and then it's
Mm.
incorporated. But I noticed that my sleep seems to be better on the higher fat.
Mm, mhm.
So I
If
will
it
just throw that in as another possibility that could
Sure.
help.
I probably
Um,
eat that much butter a day. I probably
Good
eat
for
between
you.
cooking and just, like, eating butter while I'm cooking, I probably do that. That's why I wanted to
Yes.
see.
That
Um,
is really, really good because that I'm trying to see, I don't know if you, um, remember Bob Briggs. but
No.
he was the stick of butter will make your pants fall off
Oh,
guy
I've
from
heard
10
about this
years ago.
video.
10 years ago, he was is the last video he made, and he was so ahead
Oh,
of his time with
right.
the high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet, and
Oh,
he was
wow.
talking all about this 10 years ago, and,
We're all slow.
we're all slow, and so I'm, like, honoring him by trying this stick of butter, make your pants fall off thing because 'cause I'm like, "There's gotta be, something to this with the
Mhm.
higher fat," and I knew that I
Yeah,
wasn't getting enough fat in my diet.
sure. I will
So
say when I started carnivore, I was eating a lot of pork belly. I can't do it. It just
mm.
kind of makes me very nauseated, but it would put me to sleep. And that's when the
Ah,
good sleep started, but I don't want to feel
uh-huh.
the nausea. And last time I ate
Okay.
pork belly, I think I didn't cook it enough or something. I was sick for like 2 days.
Oh, no.
Karen
Yeah.
is saying, I want to say one more thing for both of you ladies. You and Karen. Yeah, definitely the screen time. Okay, no, understood on the not walking. I'm so sorry about that.
Mm.
When is your body
Mhm.
telling you need to listen? When it says you need to go to sleep and turn the TV off or the screen off, you need to listen and you have to be in tune. And as soon as that happens, you need to you need to turn off the screen. And when your body says go to sleep, you got to go to sleep at that moment. And I think that that's going to fix it. Don't push it. This was a hard lesson for me to learn. Like, as a mom of 2 kids, I work during the day. Like, it screwed up so many areas of my life because I didn't listen to my body. I couldn't work. I had to email my boss. I'm so sick. I cannot work. Like, usually if I have a cold, I'll just keep working,
Mhm.
because
Yep.
I work from home. I couldn't do it with the kids. I couldn't make food. I couldn't do almost anything. So my body was like, you're going to stop. Do you get what
Sit
I'm
down
saying?
somewhere.
Yeah. It's like, you won't listen to me, I will make you stop. And that's literally what happened. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta be in tune enough. And I'm sure we
Mhm.
all are. And when it says time for bed, time for bed,
Yep.
and go to sleep. I don't care. My dad, when I was a kid, he's like, when you're an adult, you're going to want to go to sleep. Cause I didn't want to go to sleep as a kid. I wanted to stay up, and now it's funny because I'm going to sleep with my kids at 7, 7 or 8.
Mhm. Mhm.
But that's my advice. Listen to your body. Get off the screen. Like, set a time, like 5 o'clock. I'm off the screen. It's 5 o'clock right now. Don't get off the screen till we're done. But
Okay.
like, no. If it's dark, don't have your screen on. Don't have your screen on. I will say, I have a projector over here on the other side of the wall, and
Mhm.
we watch movies. It's a different sort of light that goes onto your projector, and it's not projecting blue light at you.
Right.
So it's
Yes.
doing something different. I can literally fall asleep on the couch. Not a good thing. I'm not trying to say that, but if you have to do something, maybe set something like that up so you're not constantly getting the blue light that's going to keep you awake. Okay, there you
Well,
go.
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
We definitely all I was talking about this in my walk and talk this morning, that that sleep is so, so important.
Yeah.
I'm doing the morning walks and the evening walks, trying to get
Hmm.
that circadian rhythm set.
Yeah.
And then, one thing I will say is that if I fall asleep and the video's not done, it's not gonna get done today.
Yeah.
Get done tomorrow. I'm too tired. I can't do it.
Yeah. Sure.
So, but yeah, I know that that is something that I need to address, but I need to address it with, like, about a couple extra hours in my day.
Or just, I hate to say this, and maybe I'll try to say it. Yes, it's so important. We're all trying to get our message out on YouTube, but we got to take care of ourselves, or else it's going to make us
Yes,
crash, and then maybe it'll
absolutely.
totally burn you out. Because even during that whole period of time, I'm like, maybe I just give up on this because I don't want it to do this to me. So I just had
Yeah.
to reorganize my life so that it can all work. So I'm just saying, if you feel
Yeah.
tired, you probably feel tired hours before you're editing that video. It's so crazy. It's so similar to what I was doing.
Mhm, mhm. Alright, so Karen's saying, "I took OTC allergy
Mm,
medication for years, was able to stop 9 months ago or
yay.
more." That's awesome.
Awesome.
Congratulations,
Great,
Karen.
Karen.
And Illy is here. Yay! I
Hello.
love
She's so
little
cute.
Ileana.
So
Hi, my
cute.
girly. This is from her.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna translate, but I'm sure she's saying hello.
Yeah, that says hello. It says hello and we love you too.
And then, Nia says,
Yeah.
"I use a projector
Yeah,
too."
exactly. Exactly. It doesn't, it's
So,
the
yeah,
sciencey, it doesn't have the same effect. The light is not projecting onto you, it's projecting on the wall and you're looking at the
right.
wall. Yeah.
What about television? Like, is television the same problem
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's
with the
the
blue
same
light?
thing. yeah, or some light, some radiation's coming out of it. Something's happening
Mhm.
with any type of screen. It's affecting your mind in some way. There's something
Gotcha.
that's happening. So
Okay, very
yeah,
interesting. All right, so, let me go to this question. So, I know that you said, I wanna just kinda drill in on this a little bit. You said that you had been trying some vegetables.
yeah,
So, like, what how do you do your carnivore, and how
sure.
do you tweak it to make it fit what you need?
Oh, okay. So honestly, most days I just eat like eggs and ground beef. And once, like, if I have to make some and have my son eat it, he will want onions in it, for instance. And I will do the onions. Even, by the way, Dr. Barry and his video on how to do carnivore says if you can do onions, do onion. Like, you can try it. It's not carnivore.
Love onions.
Yeah. I can't remember. I don't eat so many, but I feel like I'm trying some. I tried some tomatoes a couple days ago. Instapot cooked in soup, so it wasn't like a whole tomato. Like, it's very, if I'm going off, I'm not trying to eat junk food, by the way. I'm
Right.
just testing some stuff. Right now, because of the antibiotics I took, I was trying sauerkraut. It took me 7 days to make it, by the way. It takes forever to make sauerkraut.
Yes.
So my
It's good that
daughter,
you made it yourself.
yeah, because I bought some in Illinois or in Indiana when I visited, and it gave me the runs.
Oh,
Like within
no.
minutes. I don't know if it was that or pickles, but here,
Mhm.
I felt very good after eating a little bit of it. So I think my body needed it, but I might be done with it by now. Like, now I'm not so much like, I waited so long to eat it, and then I ate some and I felt good. Now I ate some more today. I'm like, eh. So the in tuneness. I was planning on doing a video saying how I was gonna try sauerkraut for 2 months, but I don't even think I need to. I don't
Wow.
know if I need to at this point,
Yeah.
maybe. So how do I do it? I mainly eat bacon. No bacon. I mainly eat eggs and beef, and if and I have seasonings on stuff. I make sure there's no like flour or other stuff that they'd like to try to put in seasonings. I'll just do
Yeah.
like the seasoning. And I've always
Mhm.
done that, by the way. I've always put seasonings on my food in my whole carnivore journey. Um, my kids are not carnivore, but they eat a lot of meat and they eat a lot more red meat. They love eggs. Fruit's not in the house. They bring it to the house from the other house that we store the fruit at. So what we have in our house is like onions, some garlic, and some tomatoes. And sometimes I will partake. And now we have cabbage. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll eat a little bit of that stuff. Um, I can't even think of other stuff. I can't. I know.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that sounds like me. I use, seasonings. I use the
yeah.
Redmond Real Salt,
Okay.
seasoning salt,
Yeah.
which has a bunch of different spices in it. I say it tastes like gold. It's so, so
Oh,
good.
wow.
But I'm gonna learn how to make it because
Okay.
it's actually very expensive to
Oh,
buy it.
wow. Oh,
So to
wow.
buy all the things to make it would probably be cheaper
Sure.
than buying it. So
Sure.
I've decided that I'm gonna put together my own recipe for seasoning gold.
That's
But I
awesome.
I do
And
love
then you
garlic
can sell
powder
it.
and onion powder, yeah.
Then you
So
can sell it. Um, Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've been really craving chicken wings, so I've been eating a lot of
mm.
wings. I've been like all the cartilage. Funny enough, also chicken feet. People think that's
Oh,
weird, but that's not weird. I've been making soup with like chicken feet, chicken gizzards, the stomachs, the necks, and that's really good. But that will have seasonings in it also, and maybe an onion. I try not to eat the onion, because
yeah.
I'm trying to stay like as clean carnivore as possible. But that's where maybe I go off. Also, I've always had lime. Like, I've never taken lime out. I'm more than those few vegetables. I'm more concerned about getting rid of dairy for good.
I know, that's a tough one. I don't know if you struggle with getting rid of it, but
Yeah,
I struggle.
I think that I need to, based on this interview I did with this lady yesterday about if you have Hashimoto's, that you need to like get rid of dairy for a period of time. But so now I'm not looking at it from like, oh, maybe it's going to unbug me to lose more weight. I'm looking at it. I didn't realize that if you took out all the inflammatory things that create the autoimmune condition after 90 days, it'll put it all in remission. But it takes 90
Mm,
days for those
yeah.
autoimmune cells, I guess, to die. And if that's a trigger, I want to get rid of it. It's always better if I have a better reason than to lose weight.
I agree. Yeah, that's so what you're saying is so profound because I think both you and I, when we originally decided to do the carnivore diet, we chose 90 days
Yeah.
instead of like 30 days.
Yeah.
And I mean, intuitively, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to do 90 days and then I'll
Yeah.
start to add things back in, is what I thought.
Me too. Yes.
Yes. And I think it takes 90 days, like what you're saying here. It takes 90 days
Hmm.
for that transition to happen. And then that carnivore zen sets in and
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
It's amazing. And I didn't realize that it took that long. I didn't, first of all, I think I didn't realize that if you have these autoimmune cells, I'm going to keep calling them cells because I don't know what else, antibodies, that
Yeah.
they lit, that you could kill them or put it fully into remission. And I didn't realize that. So I didn't realize you could put it in remission based on what you eat. I thought you just felt better. I thought it
Yeah.
could like make it, but I'm like, that's kind of so interesting. Anyone who has a thyroid condition needs to go watch that interview. She's not carnivore, but she's not against carnivore.
Okay.
Her name's Dr.
What's
Stone.
her name again?
Her name is Heather Stone, but I think the name of my interview is How Come It's So Easy to Wreck Your Thyroid?
Okay.
something like that. But and I
Gotcha.
want more people to watch. It was so educational on like so many levels. So I just got
Yeah.
my blood work done and I want to implement things based on what she said. Again, not to lose weight, but for something more important like my health.
Right. I'm gonna put a link to that video in the description box.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Everyone needs to watch
Absolutely.
it. Not just because I want views, but literally everybody needs to watch it. I think so many women have a thyroid condition. And she said 90 to 98% of the women that get diagnosed with a thyroid condition is misdiagnosed and it's actually Hashimoto's. So they're getting medicine that's not going to handle the Hashimoto's. And that's why
Interesting.
you feel okay on thyroid medicine. I'm not on any. For a very long time, but you feel like okay for a little while and then it doesn't
Mhm.
resolve anything. So, man, go watch it. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Okay, I'll make sure that we get that down into
Thank
the
you.
description box.
Yeah.
Brett is here.
Hi,
I
Brett.
have to acknowledge
Another
Brett,
friend.
a friend. Hey, Brett. And, let's see who else. Oh, Brett is smoking chicken quarters. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that
Sounds
sounds so good.
amazing. That sounds absolutely
Mhm.
amazing. Okay, moving right along. So I want to talk about healing humanity. We can't like
Yes.
be here and
Yeah,
not talk
exactly.
about it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I think the first time I saw you was during, maybe it wasn't the first time, but I saw you in action. Let me put it that way.
That
The 24-hour live
was
stream.
the first time?
I mean, that
Oh,
was the first time I
wow.
saw you. No, did we do a 12-hour first?
There was a 10-hour one and I
Okay,
wasn't there
10
for
hour.
the
The
full thing.
10-hour live stream.
Yeah.
And then, but I think the 24-hour live stream was where you was really cutting up.
That was my idea. And by the way, that was on my birthday and all that was my
Yes.
idea. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. So how you want to know why I got involved? Like why I
Yes.
care?
So tell us a little bit about it. What is it? For those who don't know, like I'm sure that there's nobody here who doesn't know, but tell us about it and then how did you get involved and why are you so passionate about it?
So Healing Humanity is a documentary being made like with their bare hands by Carrie Mann at Homestead How and Adam from Carnivore Today, Adam Lacey. I was like, do I not know Adam's last name? Adam Lacey. But it was really Carrie. Healing Humanity, the Power of Proper Human Diet. Originally, we were just calling it the Carnivore Diet movie.
Mhm.
And so if you go back to a year ago and you want to watch a 24-hour live stream, that's what we're calling it. But what inspired me? First, I saw Carrie. I listened to him on Dave Mack's channel. Dave is a buddy of mine. I love Dave Mack.
Yes, me too.
It's so crazy how many friends you make here on YouTube. I don't think YouTube ever had that in mind, but it happens.
Right.
So I heard his story and I was so inspired about the situation with his daughter being so similar to mine with the menstrual cycles, but really how he gotten himself off of his psychiatric medications and that he'd been on for countless years. I think he says 20 years, and his like severe depression just like released and like went away. within 30 days of being on a very strict carnivore diet. And I don't know if I want to say I want to cry, but I was very moved by it. And it's always been like the thing I'm very passionate about is helping people get off of psychiatric medications. And I've like worked with programs in the past to help people with this. And I've done fundraising for this sort of stuff before, like for these programs to help people. So it was like, this is right. Like I've already done this before. Like I know how to do this. Asking people for money, by the way, is something that I like to do if I'm passionate about something. I have no problem if I believe in the cause to get people to open their checkbooks or give me their credit cards. And that's why we also did the thing recently with for Ken Berry's American Diabetes Society. And I pitched that, by the way, to Ken Berry saying I wanted to do this for him. Simultaneously, Carrie had the same idea to do a fundraiser for that. So it's funny because I'm like, oh, but I emailed him first. I texted him first on that. Or like, and like I got in touch with him first. But anyways, I was so moved by Carrie. And then I saw he had 60,000 subscribers and I was like, now he has like 260,000. I'm like, he's such a big YouTuber. He'll never talk to me. Like my own self-doubt and fears came in. And then but then I started listening to his videos a little bit more. One morning, I just got the courage. I'm like, I'm going to send him an email. I've emailed so many people. Why can't I email Carrie? So I shot him an email. He answered me in like 3 minutes. And then we set up our first live stream. And now he's talking about doing this documentary. And so when he had me on the live stream, I'm like, I didn't want to tell you this in the email, but we're going to fundraise tonight. And that's what I said in the live stream. Like, I didn't want him to say no. And we maybe fundraised just randomly $200 or $400 in the first interview where we're just talking. And so it kind of developed from there. Then he invited me to the 10-hour live stream and I helped him raise money. And then I was cooking or washing dishes or taking a shower. And I'm like, oh, we need to do this for 24 hours. And I have PTSD still.
Yeah.
I will never do another 24-hour live stream.
That was so wild. I mean,
yeah. I
was
didn't
like,
make it. I didn't make the 24 hours, but
this girl is a fundraising machine.
You should see me in person. It's a little bit, it's a lot funner in person than sitting in front of a computer, but still, I love it. I love it because I know it's going to help people. Like this documentary is going to change lives. We need to get it produced and done. And that's how I feel like I can contribute to the motion. And you need the energy, you need the money, or else it ain't going to happen. And so it's a weird skill set that I have. Let's go back to my book that I'm reading. It's like, list your skills, this 9-figure, list your skills. I'm like, well, I can ask people for money. I can ask people if I like it. That's the thing. Like someone was trying to pitch me the idea of selling something. I'm not going to say what it was. And we went to like a little Zoom call webinar thingy. And then I'm like, no. And my husband, we're not interested in that. Like, I'm not going to sell something that I don't feel is going to help somebody or that I am not passionate about. And I'm passionate about this. And it's going to help so many people. So many people keep donating. That's the only way. It's like not just my documentary. It's everybody's. Like we're doing it together. Or it's not Carrie's. It's all of ours because we're all making it happen together. And so there you go.
It's going to be an incredible crowdfunded documentary. I joined the team also, but I'm not a fundraiser. So I just wonder about like, what is it that makes it so easy for you to ask people for money? Because this is something that people have problems with, right? Even Carrie says, I hate asking people for money.
I know. It's fine. You just have to, I've had a lot of practice in sales. I've done sales a lot. And, I've got an ability to put pressure on myself and make money. There's a certain type of personality that is, I guess. You have to have that personality. And I've worked a lot in programs where you have to ask for money. And once you do it, by the way, and you get your first, whatever you're fundraising or the thing you're selling, it kind of becomes like, you get very like, oh my God, where's the next sale? Where's the next thing? Where's the next product that I can get? And it just kind of builds. But again, you have to be like willing and wanting to sell that thing or else it doesn't work. You can't.
So I'm just going to put in a plug for the Healing Humanity documentary. And like at any moment, any of you can go over to healinghumanity.movie
Yeah.
and make a donation.
Everything.
To
People are like,
support.
yeah, everything counts. A dollar counts. $20
Yep.
counts. Whatever you can do, like, towards the project. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter the amount that you donate. It's like that you donate. Like, what do you say? It's like not what you get for Christmas. It's like the idea that you get anything at all. Or whatever.
Yes. Absolutely. It's
It's
making
the thought that counts.
it's the thought that counts. Yes. That's right. All right. So we're almost out of time. We got
We
like
are
4 minutes, and I know you got to go to bed.
in a couple hours. But yeah, I gotta go to bed.
The screen has got to go off.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta go play Uno or something with my kids. Do something like that.
how has your family responded to your dedication to the carnivore diet and your involvement in the Healing Humanity documentary? Have they been a part of your journey?
Okay, well, I've definitely like talked to my mom a lot about it, and she used to be vegetarian. She was vegan for a while and then vegetarian, and now she's added fish and eggs and cheese back into her diet. So I'm very happy about that. I thought that was because of me, but then I found out it had nothing to do with me. My dad informed me. But at least I've been a good example.
Yeah.
My dad has started carnivore because something
Oh, good
recently
for him.
happened and he needs to heal his body. And he started carnivore, and I'm sending him videos, and I've sent him videos about intermittent fasting. And so he's really starting this. So they've been receptive. Some other family members that I've talked to, they know I'm doing it, and they don't really, I've never gotten anything negative. So I guess that's a positive. I've never had anything negative. My husband has supported me no matter how ever I wanted to eat. Like, oh, I'm doing this crazy diet. Okay, fine, you can do it. So I think he's sitting right over here, so he will say something if I say something wrong. But I think at
Hi,
first
husband.
he can't hear you. Hello, husband. Because I got the headphones on, but he was happy when we did my first blood work, and it looked fine. And we're gonna get more blood work, like very extensive blood work done now. We'll get the results soon. So, and he even tried carnivore when I was in Chicago last year with my kids. He did carnivore because it just happened to be the food that was in the house. And it's just the easiest method. And he had his own understanding of his body after that. But I'm the main person in the house that does it. But I haven't gotten, my sister-in-law said, do you miss anything? And I'm like, miss anything? I don't miss feeling like crapola. And the food is not worth it. But that was like the extent of anything negative anyone has ever said to me. So I think it's all positive and they're fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I would say I miss popcorn, but it's my downfall. So there's no way I'm going to try it.
Again, we must be sisters.
Right. Exactly.
I can binge like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buckets of popcorn. I could just sit and eat it and eat it and eat.
Yep, I would go into the movies and get that giant thing of popcorn with real butter on it, and I would I'd eat that whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. About Healing Humanity, I've been telling my mom and my dad and my uncle about it, and I've sent them information. And then when the preview trailer came out, I don't remember exactly what my dad said, but he had very good feedback, and I think so did my mom. Also, they both had very good feedback about it.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna, even if they don't follow this way of eating, they know that it's gonna help people.
Yes.
They know it's gonna help a lot of people. And now my dad's trying this out, so I'm gonna coach him along. And I love that.
So proud of him.
Yeah, sometimes the kids become the parents.
Absolutely. They sure do. All right. So let's talk a little bit about YouTube. How did you decide to become a YouTuber?
Oh, well, this has been when I was pregnant with my son, and now he's 8, so 9 years ago-ish, I asked my sister, how can I make money like by myself? And she's like, start a YouTube channel, just talk about doing makeup as a mom. That was like her advice. Like my friend, she makes so much money doing YouTube. And so that kind of like set the idea in motion. And then I could never figure out what to do a YouTube channel on. And I was so self-conscious. I was so fat. So here's funny. I told you I'm good at sales. I was so overweight, maybe 220-ish pounds at one point. And my friend, he was so smart. And he obviously didn't care how I looked. And he's like, you should sell real estate. Because he knew that I could sell. And in my mind, I thought no one would take me seriously because I'm so fat. No one
Mm,
would take me seriously. And so I had self-doubt because of how I looked, even though I had the skill set.
right. Yep.
So I'm bringing that up for a point, because now we're going to go back to YouTube, and I wanted to do YouTube, and I started a YouTube channel, and I'm like, I'm so negative thoughts about myself. Do you get what I'm saying? But the
Yep.
interest was always there. And then I saw Kip, and not to say anything about Kip's size. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm like, oh my God, if this guy can do YouTube, so can I. I'm not trying to say that in a negative way about Kip. I'm just
Yep. I
saying,
understand what you're saying.
okay, yeah. So, and he's so awesome. He's such a YouTuber. I love his personality. And so on day number 3 of carnivore diet, I did my first video saying, oh my God, this is life changing. Basically, I didn't say those words, but I'm outside walking around. It's 5 a.m. I feel amazing. And that started it. So that's how I started YouTube. Please subscribe. I think they're all my subscribers.
Yep, we're going to share the screen for anybody that is not a subscriber. This is
Aw, thank you.
Alia's YouTube channel.
By the way, that my hair does look like that. It's false advertising because it's growing out.
Oh my gosh.
I will never dye my hair again. There you go. I will never dye it again. Please come and check out my channel.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing out here on your channel.
Whenever I have an idea about something, I do it. I do some intermittent podcasting. But that takes a long time to edit. And Robin and I talked about editing earlier. So if I have an idea about something, I try to do a video. And I would like to get better, but I try to do my videos in like 1 hour from start to finish and up on YouTube.
Wow.
So that's why you get like a 6-minute video with little editing.
Okay.
And I probably should get better at it, but I think the communication is more important than that's the point. For me, I want to get my communication out there, but maybe if I was a little bit better at it, it would get more views. I don't know.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're doing the thing. I see that you have like 2,450
subscribers.
450 subscribers. That's really good. I mean, having just started,
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna say collaborating with other YouTubers helps a lot. Carrie helped me get there. Carrie helped me get 1,000 when I helped him make money for the Healing Humanity Project.
Carrie has helped so many people. He's so generous and such a kind soul, actually. He's had a lot of new YouTubers on. Of course, he encouraged us all to start YouTube channels. So
yeah, it's true.
He probably feels responsible for all of us.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, he's so nice about doing that and having people on and sharing his audience with folks, because it takes all kinds, right?
Yeah, it does.
And I think about this. There's a group that I listen to called Think Media, and they talk about
I've listened to
YouTube channels and growth and things. And it's like billions of people that are looking for content. And so, whatever you're doing on your YouTube channel, somebody's going to want to see it. So, and so it takes all kinds. It takes all kinds.
And I'm a mom. I'm early 40s, and maybe I've got 2 young kids. Maybe my message will resonate, and you're a grandma and a mom, and maybe your message will resonate with somebody else. So I don't think it's a fight or a competition. I think we need to just do this together because we need to get people healthier.
Exactly.
And so somebody will listen. If somebody listens to me, my dad, that's worth it. That's worth the whole YouTube thing.
That's worth it. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
So if you're not subscribed to Alia's channel, here it is. You can go and check out her channel and subscribe to her and check out what she's doing over there. So thank you so much, Alia. This has been absolutely fantastic. I can't believe I found myself another sister.
It's awesome. It's amazing. Now my grandma. I was thinking, no, she's not my grandma.
I'm your carnivorous grandma, but we can also be sisters.
We can be. And I hope that when I go in my mind, and I don't know when I'm going back to the States, but I hope that I can organize a meetup, and maybe you can come to it, and Brett and whoever else is, and Charlie, anyone in like the Chicago, Illinois, Indiana-ish, Detroit, Michigan-ish area. That would be great. But that's a future plan.
Yep. So whenever you get back, we're going to be ready to see you. I know. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yeah.
For real, I
I
cannot wait
wish I
to
could
meet.
go to the October thing at Montello Theater. I can't.
Yes. Oh,
I can't right
man.
now, but that'd be so fun. Oh man. Here. Okay, this is your baptism by fire. When you go to the Montello Theater, you just stand behind the counter with Jen and you say, we're accepting donations for the movie. People will give you money, and they will give you money, and they will give you more money. And people walking by, they'll give you a check, $100, $2, and you're going to see how easy it is. We're accepting
Okay.
donations if you want to do it. And then people are going to buy shirts. They got shirts and all the merch and stuff. And you could just,
Yeah.
that's what I did when I was there. I think we made like $400 just in
Oh
people
my
giving me
god.
money in like just in like 10 or 20 minutes, very fast. Anyways, there's your
Okay.
baptism by
Yep.
fire for fundraising.
All
I
right,
want
I'm
a
gonna
photo. I want a
okay.
photo.
We'll make sure to do that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the last word. Do you have any final thoughts, anything that else that's on your heart to share that you didn't get a chance to say so far?
I'm gonna say wherever you're at, it's gonna get better. Be patient. And if you're scared of starting to eat this way, like keto or carnivore, just know that there's thousands of us crazies doing it, and it's only made our life and our quality of life better. So I guess that's what I want to say. Our bodies can heal if we stop putting the wrong stuff into it and start putting the right stuff into it. There you go.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. We are so thankful for Alia to be with us tonight, and go and subscribe to her channel. And I will see you guys. I believe I'll be back next weekend for another Carnivorous Grandma Speaks. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.